Hi, good morning. My name is Mark Swihart. I'll be the worship associate this morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. Whether you have been with this church for a decade or more, or if this is your first time visiting, we welcome you. Whatever your faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are, whomever you love, welcome. Wherever you come from, whatever your journey has been, we welcome you here. Newcomers and guests are always welcome to participate in any of our church activities. If you'd like more information about our church or about Unitarian Universalism, please contact our minister, Reverend Jane Thickstun. You can find her information on our website. Also, please join us for coffee hour following the service. There's a Zoom link that will be posted in the YouTube chat at the end of this service, or you can find that link in the upper right-hand corner of our webpage. Once again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. It's good to be together, even virtually.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. We gather in community to rest from our labors, to greet our neighbors in the chat, and to open our being to insight and intuition of that greater reality of which we are a part. May we find in our time together inspiration and renewal. May we touch the holy in each other and be touched by the graciousness of life. May we find here a calm peacefulness that will carry us through the days ahead. Words by Paul Leroux. Come, let us join together in the celebration of life.
In this free church, we come together without creed, focusing instead on the core values of justice, equity, and compassion, believing that the way we live in the world bears testament to the value of our beliefs. We light this chalice as a beacon of hope to light our way as we walk and work together. Now let's sing together hymn number 1000, Morning Has Come.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
All the World, written by Liz Garton Scanlon and illustrated by Marla Frazee. Rock, stone, pebble, sand, body, shoulder, arm, hand, a moat to dig, a shell to keep, all the world is wide and deep. Hive, bee, wings, hum, husk, cob, corn, yum. Tomato blossom, fruit so red, all the world's a garden bed. Tree, trunk, branch, crown, climbing up and sitting down, morning sun becomes noon blue, all the world is old and new. Road, street, track, path, ship, boat, wooden raft, nest, bird, feather, fly, all the world has got its sky. Slip, trip, stumble, fall, tip the bucket, spill it all. Better luck another day. All the world goes round this way. Table, bowl, cup, spoon, hungry tummy, supper soon. Butter, flour, big black pots. All the world is cold and hot. Spreading shadows, setting sun. Crickets, curtains, day is done. The fire takes away the chill. All the world can hold quite still. Nanas, papas, cousins, kin, piano, harp, and violin. Babies passed from neck to knee. All the world is you and me. Everything you hear, smell, see, all the world is everything. Everything is you and me. Hope and peace and love and trust. All the world is all of us.
Hi, I'm Chris Hill with the Lay Pastoral Care Team. During our service, we create this sacred space for sharing within our community. It's time to share significant life passages with the congregation so you can be held in loving care. I'll be reading the joys and sorrows this morning. We'll be placing a stone, representing each joy or sorrow, in the sand, representing our congregation, supporting the sorrows and lifting up the joys. Carol Watkins has a joy. Glenn Burns and I are celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary. On April 11th, 1981, we married outside on a beautiful spring day. To Carol and Glenn, we say, we share in your joy. We now place one more stone in the sand for all the joys and sorrows that exist in our hearts but remain unspoken today. We especially think of everyone suffering, directly or indirectly, from this COVID-19 pandemic. Please read with me the words appearing on the screen, understanding that here includes all those watching. Let us hold in our circle of caring each person here. Let us hold in our hearts those who are unable to be with us today. Let us hold in our memories those who have moved on. Let us find comfort in knowing that we are not alone.
I invite you now to join me in a spirit of meditation or prayer. So please settle in a little more comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Allow yourself to just relax into the sacred space that you are in. And breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathe out slowly. Breathe in compassion. And breathe out peace. May we embrace this moment first in silence, allowing the heart pulse of life and the gentle breath to clear our minds. These words by Bruce Southworth. O God that dwells within, source of strength, wellspring of life. At moments like these we gather, each alone in our solitude. At moments like these we try to put away the daily obstacles, the headaches and irritations. We try to put away our worries and open ourselves to the pulse of life and the rhythms of life. We may carry with us fears and hopes about health or illness, about jobs or family, about success or failure, and for a moment we seek to set them aside. At moments like these, we take a moment for our deepest selves in quiet. We know that we need one another and that we must keep faith with one another if we are to keep faith with the world. In moments of quiet, when we open ourselves to the depths, may we find the spirit of life within us, surging and glowing, guiding and sustaining so that the strength we need and the compassion the world needs come to us and shine like a beacon in the night. So may it be. Amen. And let us pause for a few moments in silent reflection.
We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and hard work. We're so grateful for this, and we commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. The morning offering will be taken by your mailing a check to the church or by going to the uucnh.org website, finding the link in the upper right-hand corner that says Donate, and making a contribution equivalent to what you would be putting in the plate or more. Would you say with me now, all together, words to dedicate our offering? And the words are, may these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give power to all we stand for as a community of faith. Today's reading is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is from a speech he gave to the graduating class at the Harvard Divinity School in 1838. Its actual title is An Address Delivered Before the Senior Class in Divinity College, Cambridge. He said, "The Puritans in England and America found in the Christ of the Catholic Church and in the dogmas inherited from Rome scope for their austere piety and their longings for civil freedom. But their creed is passing away, and none arises in its room. I think no man can go with his thoughts about him into one of our churches without feeling that what hold the public worship had on men is gone or going. It has lost its grasp on the affection of the good and the fear of the bad. In the country neighborhoods, half parishes are signing off, to use the local term. It is already beginning to indicate character and religion to withdraw from the religious meetings. I have heard a devout person who prized the Sabbath say in bitterness of heart, on Sundays it seems wicked to go to church.
When I was a child each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that there's anything here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was red best, it barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk with a reverend there. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say that's not a testament. Would that be very hard to say? See another new morning come, tell me it's not a sacrament, and I tell you that can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. Remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Thank you, Cindy. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for the gift of music. So a friend was telling me a while back about her experience with one of those online dating sites. The profiles on these sites contain lots of information about people, including religion. My friend said that by far the most common response in the religion category was spiritual, but not religious. Then I read a newspaper article that talked about the ways Americans mix and match faiths, including both beliefs and practices, and even regularly attend religious services at more than one place. A loyalty to a particular denomination or faith is increasingly rare as people explore alternatives and often find their spiritual needs met better outside of church communities. These are the people who often describe themselves as spiritual but not religious. Believe it or not, I was the one who coined that phrase. At least it seems so to me. Back when I was just out of high school, it seemed like everyone was either associated with a church or was not interested in such matters. I didn't know about Unitarian Universalism at the time, so church to me meant Christianity. I didn't go to church after high school, but it wasn't because I wasn't interested in the issues addressed in churches. On the contrary, it was because I was supremely interested in those issues. My own path of spiritual growth meant I needed to find my own words to describe my religious experience. Creativity and spirituality are closely tied for me, and I needed to be free from the bonds of tradition to find my own expression, which was at the same time my spirituality. So I described myself as spiritual but not religious, but I had never heard anybody else use that phrase before, as far as I was aware. Yet it was already common in Emerson's day, as we heard in the reading. He describes a situation where public worship is on its way out. Churches are closing, and it is already beginning to indicate character and religion to withdraw from the religious meetings. Character and religion itself, seen as belonging to those who withdrew from religious meetings? I have to say that the religious meetings of Emerson's time were dreary, long, and uninspiring, unlike ours, of course. Emerson might have used the phrase spiritual but not religious to refer to himself. He was a Unitarian who studied for the ministry at Harvard, but he only served a congregation for 2 or 3 years, finding himself not well suited for congregational ministry. Yet he preached from the lecterns of the lecture circuit across the country, and he had a wider and more influential ministry than he ever would have had by confining himself to one congregation. What he preached was essentially what we would call spirituality. Emerson's main message was that religious truth was to be found in direct experience. This experience is personal and private. It cannot be taught or imitated. We must go alone, he says. We must listen within ourselves, withdrawing from others, rejecting authority, standing on our own. Truth, says Emerson, is an intuition. It cannot be received at second hand. He preached that everyone is capable of such intuition, such direct experience of truth. He preached that revelation did not occur just in biblical times, but that it occurs now and always, over and over, fresh for each individual. He preached that it is our gift and our duty to listen to the voice of the Spirit. Our Unitarian Universalist faith has embraced this spirituality even more since Emerson's time, as has our modern liberal culture. Our faith tradition has opened up theologically to the point where just about any path to finding meaning and purpose is okay. We are free and responsible for our own search for truth and meaning, which is our fourth principle. The individual conscience is the ultimate authority, and we honor each other's journeys no matter how different they are from our own, or at least we try to. Our wider culture, at least in more liberal circles, has likewise embraced the idea that the pursuit of truth and meaning is a personal, private thing. People have been leaving mainline churches in droves for some time now. So many activities take place on Sunday mornings. There's an assumption that people don't go to church. I've joined a meetup group that sends emails often for Sunday morning hikes, and I'm aware that many kids' sporting activities happen then as well. And how many people you know are surprised when they learn you go to church on Sunday mornings, or attend virtually, as the case has been this last year. There is a well-known saying, goes, religion is for those who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for those who have been there. Not sure where the phrase comes from. I've heard it many times. So often, religion gets defined as dogma and hierarchy. On the other hand, spirituality is often seen as a positive thing, the human spirit, the spirit of the universe, breath, life, connection. A butterfly I heard recently. Chase it and it will elude you. Stop a while and it will alight on your shoulder. Some see spirituality as synonymous with religion and associate it with dogma and hierarchy. Some see it as counter to reason and so something to be avoided. It also has an old association with spiritualists from a previous century, people who believe we can communicate with the dead. But for the most part, by now, spirituality has come to mean that aspect of human experience that isn't understood through science, yet is of absolute importance. Our Unitarian Universalist religion has nothing to do with dogma or hierarchy. In fact, we go so far the other way, we are the subject of jokes. And you may have heard the light bulb jokes. So this one goes, question, how many Unitarians does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer, we choose not to make a statement either in favor of or against the need for a light bulb. However, if in your journey you have found that light bulbs work for you, you are invited to write a poem or compose a modern dance about your light bulb for the next Sunday service, in which we will explore a number of light bulb traditions, including incandescent, fluorescent, three-way, long life, and tinted, all of which are equally valid paths to luminescence. Unitarian Universalism today bears little resemblance to the religion that most people mean when they say they are spiritual but not religious. In fact, it bears so little resemblance, some people question whether it is even a religion at all. I have heard it said that Unitarian Universalism is a stop on the way from the Methodist Church to the golf course. But it can also be a haven for those going the other direction, those who call themselves spiritual but not religious. Many of these people wish to stay unconnected and uncommitted on Sunday mornings, but some of them might be overjoyed to find a community of covenanted seekers like ours. What religion has that spirituality doesn't have is the community. I have a friend who regularly attends a Presbyterian church, and yet she's very into New Age spirituality. She has been practicing meditation for 20 or 30 years, has done yoga therapy, which includes visualization, also transformational breath work, which she describes as guided breathing meditation to get you to an altered state. She's open to and has explored other aspects of New Age spirituality as well, especially Reiki. She says these things get to something in her, something that feels like a release and can make her cry. But she also needs her church. She feels a connection to her church community, much more so than to any spiritual community. She also sees the church as a place to pursue social justice work, which she sees as an important aspect or an important expression of her spiritual and religious life. Spirituality by itself is not enough. We crave the experience of the transcendent, yet we yearn to be immersed or feel immersed in the ocean of being, to know that we are not alone and unconnected in the universe. Such experiences are by their very nature ephemeral. They don't last. The butterfly may alight on your shoulder, but then it flies away. But such an experience can change everything. The experience of being released from the confines of a separate sense of self, feeling at one with the whole, calls us to an obligation to this whole. Ideally, religion gives us a context for expressing the experience. Religion gives us a context for carrying out that obligation. Religion gives us a community of love where it is safe to be vulnerable. Religion gives us a community of humble power to help us seek justice in the universe. Unitarian Universalism doesn't prescribe a spiritual path. It only requires that we be on one. Our purpose in religious community isn't to debate the merits or the errors of various spiritual paths. The purpose of our covenantal religious community is to find a pathway of loving kindness among our diverse beliefs. We do that by opening ourselves to listen beyond our own assumptions, leaving room for the complexity and imperfection of language, finding ways to speak to each other about things that are spiritual, upholding the beauty of our tradition that affirms that revelation comes to all. And when we do that, those who call themselves spiritual but not religious might find that there is a religion worth coming out or logging on to join on Sunday mornings. So the next time somebody tells you they're spiritual but not religious, tell them about the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. Tell them about how open we are, how we seek to celebrate life together from our varying theological viewpoints, how we seek to make the world a better place, and how we are stronger together. Then give them the YouTube link. Our final hymn today is "Though I May speak with bravest fire. If you have a gray hymnal, it's number 34, but the words will be on the screen.
Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not be given by love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are free.
In closing, I offer these words from Eileen Karpelis. If that which is most holy lies within the human person, and if the greatest power in the world shines flickering and uncertain from each individual heart, then it is easy to see the value of human associations dedicated to nurturing that light. The friends, the couple, the family, the religious community. For the power of good in any one of us must at times waver. But when a group together is dedicated to nurturing the power of good, it is rare for the light to grow dim in all individuals at the same moment. So we borrow courage and wisdom from one another to warm us and keep us until we're together again. So go in peace, but after you join us for coffee hour. to the pulse of life